Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inshallah, we're going to be starting from ayah number 28, Surah Al-Baqarah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, كَيْفَ تَكْفُرُونَ. In the previous ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was talking about the people who are misguided. And now He addresses them directly. This concept is known as iltifat. Iltifat means that you are talking about somebody in the third person, he, they, and they are misguided and so on. And then suddenly, instead of talking about them, talking directly to them. Okay, so this is what happened here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talking directly to those people. So He says, Kaifa. Kaifa is, it means how. And you probably know this very famous word that we use in Arabic, or phrase, Kaifa haluk, how are you? How is your situation, basically? How are you? So Kaifa, how? Takfuruna, are you making kufr? Takfuruna, takfuru, it would be to a single person. You are making kufr. One person, one male person making kufr. With the waw and noon added, it becomes plural. Kayfa takfuruna, how are you all making kufr billahi, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Meaning, how are you denying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The word kufr can have different meanings actually. Kufr can be ungrateful. Okay, so this is what we call in Urdu kufranun ni'mah. To be ungrateful for the blessings that Allah has given. This is called kufran. The other is disbelief. Disbelief is more famous. Kafir means a person who disbelieves. And the actual literal meaning of kufr is to hide something. So when a person is hiding disbelief inside him, that's why he's called a kafir. Another word used in Arabic for farmers is also kafir. Okay, and this is used in the Quran too, that when the farmers, they see the rain falling, they become very happy. This is at the end of Surah Al-Fath, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says that when the rain falls, the kuffar, meaning the farmers, they become happy. So why are the farmers called kuffar in this context? Because it's their habit that they will take seeds and they will hide them under the ground. Okay, so they are hiding the seeds, therefore they are kuffar from that perspective. So kufr means to hide something, and then depending on which context you use it in, it can either mean disbeliever, or it can also mean farmer, it can also mean a person who's ungrateful to the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, كَيْفَ تَكْفُرُونَ بِاللَّهِ, how is it that you are making kufr with or disbelief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And now Allah gives an example. And He says, وَكُنْتُمْ أَمْوَاتًا فَأَحْيَاكُمْ, and you were. The word kuntum, it's referring to a lot of people. Okay, the word in singular form is kana. Kana means he was. He was, kana. Kunta, to one single person. Kuntum, all of you were. Kuntum amwatan, you were dead. Okay, maut means dead. The plural is amwatan, you were dead. So what does it mean? When a person, before he is existing, his non-existence is a form of death, right? He is not existing, meaning he was not, prior to being in the womb of his mother, he was non-existent, so he was dead from that perspective. At the beginning of Surah Al-Dahr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He uses a verse, هَلْ أَتَى عَلَى الْإِنسَانِ حِينٌ مِنَ الدَّهْرِ لَمْ يَكُنْ شَيْئًا مَذْكُورًا. Didn't a time cross the human being when he was a thing that he wasn't even mentioned? So before we came into our mother's wombs, okay, Prior to that, we didn't even exist. Our existence was not there. So therefore, we were unmentioned. And then after that, our mothers became pregnant with us, and everybody was overjoyed that a baby is coming. Is it going to be a boy? Is it going to be a girl? So then the discussion of this baby started after this fetus came into the womb of the mother. But prior to that, the mother was, or the baby, or us, all of us, were not even mentioned. So here Allah says, you are all dead at one point. There are other verses in the Quran that say the same thing, that first of all you are dead, then He gave you life, then He will give you death again. So death in the perspective of not being existing. So how are you disbelieving in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you were dead? فَأَحْيَاكُمْ. The word maut, like I said, maut is, the singular form is maut, the plural is amwat, dead. فَأَحْيَاكُمْ. He gave you life. He made you come into existence. The root letter of أحياكم is حيية. حيية. Ha, ya, and ya. فَأَحْيَاكُمْ. And we have the same word in Urdu, hayat. Hayat is from that same word. The root letter is ha, ya, and ya. So, فَأَحْيَا. Ahya, He made alive, kum, all of you. Ahya is singular. He made alive. He gave life, kum, to all of you. فَأَحْيَاكُمْ. ثُمَّ, then, يُمِيتُكُمْ. Then He will give you death again. He will give you death again. So, there was a death before we were alive, and then we became alive, and we became into existence. Then, ثُمَّ يُمِيتُكُمْ. Then He will give you death again. So this word yumitukum, the root letter is maut, mim, waw, and ta. But in the way that it's being put, yumitu, it means to give death to. To give death to. Okay, so He gives death to all of you. Yumitu, He, singular, gives death to kum, all of you. Yumitukum. Thumma, then, yuhyikum, then He will give you life again. Again, which is referring to the hereafter, the life of the hereafter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in another verse of the Quran, Minha khalaqnakum wa fiha nu'idukum wa minha nukhrijukum taratan ukhra. We created you from this soil, and wa fiha nu'idukum, and we're going to return you back into it. وَمِنْهَا نُخْرِجُكُمْ تَارَةً أُخْرَى. And from it we're going to extract you another time. So here in this verse, again going back to the beginning, كَيْفَ تَكْفُرُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَكُنْتُمْ أَمْوَاتًا. How are you disbelieving in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you were dead, and then He gave you life. Then He will give you death. ثُمَّ يُحْيِيكُمْ. Then He will give you life. ثُمَّ إِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. Then only to Him is your return. So after we become alive again, then after that there's no running away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We cannot go back to this world. We cannot have another life again. We have to only stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So thumma, so after He gives you life again, then only to Him is your return. So at the beginning of the verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the question, how can you disbelieve? How can you disbelieve in that Allah? At the end is the final question, that you're going to return back to Him and be questioned for your life. How can you disbelieve in that same Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And in the middle of the you disbelieving and you being presented to Him, all of these stages of your life took place. And you see again and again babies being born, coming into existence. You see people leaving this world, young and old, dying and being buried. That is happening in front of your eyes. So why is it that you can disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while you're going to return back to Him? So this is what this verse is saying. Huwa alladhi. It continues to talk about the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Huwa, He, alladhi, is the one. Alladhi has come many times before. Khalaqa, He created. Khalaqa, He created in the past tense. The root letter is obvious. Khalaqa, He created. Lakum, for all of you. This lam is for possession. Lakum, for all of you. Ma, whatever. This ma is am. It's ma mawsula, and it is am, and it means whatever. Fil ard is fi means in, al ard, the earth. So it is He who created for you, for your benefit, O human beings, whatever is in the earth. So the things that we continue to benefit from. We continue to benefit from the water, we continue to benefit from the food, the fruit, the vegetables, the crops, the oil, the gas, the diamonds, the gold, everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created for our benefit. So going back to the beginning of this verse again, it is He who created for you ma fil ard, whatever is in the earth, jami'a, all of it. This word jami'an, it is known as ta'keed. It comes at the end of a sentence. Okay, so in the verse, it was sufficient for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to say, it is He who created for you everything that's on the earth. That's sufficient, right? But you say jami'an, that puts emphasis. Everything on this earth is for the benefit of the human being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said in a hadith, "Ad-dunya khuliqat lakum." The dunya was created for all of you. Wa antum khuliqtum lil akhirah, and you were created for the hereafter. So Allah gave us everything in this world. We benefit from it. We use it. We utilize it. We enjoy it. But our purpose of the life is working for the hereafter. The benefit that we derive in this world, it is given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala regardless. ثُمَّ اسْتَوَى إِلَى السَّمَاءِ فَسَوَّاهُنَّ سَبْعَ سَمَاوَاتٍ. Okay, so after creating everything that's in the earth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, then He turned إِلَى السَّمَاء, to the skies. The word istiwa, the root letter is sawa, yaswi. Okay, and in this context, in the way that it's being used, it means to turn to in a certain direction. Ila, to, as-sama'i, to the skies. فَسَوَّاهُنَّ سَبْعَ سَمَاوَاتٍ, and He created them. The word sawwa, it means to make in an equal proportion. Okay, sawa, it's actually come before. Sawa'un alaykum أَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Sawa. Okay, so sawa is equal. So this word sawwahunna means to create everything in equal measure. Okay, فَسَوَّاهُنَّ, He created hunna, them, meaning the skies, sab'a samawat, 7 skies. So the word fa, it means though, or and, or therefore. Sawwa, it is the past tense, and the root letter is sin, waw and ya. Hunna is actually used for plural feminine. Hunna, all of them females, and it's referring to the skies in female form. The skies are female form. Sab'a, 7 samawat, into 7 skies. So what does that actually mean, the 7 skies? So it's not 7 planets. Some people say it's 7 planets. It's not 7 planets. But what it is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created our universe in which we are in. And look how huge this universe is. Around this universe is another universe. Alright? That's the second sky. In comparison to the first universe, the first universe is like a ring that is put in the middle of the desert. Okay, so you put a ring in the middle of the desert, that's one sky. And then the desert is the second sky. The whole desert is the second sky. And then this second sky, in comparison to the third universe, it is like a ring in a desert, and then you have the third sky around it. Okay, so it's like a circular thing, one universe, one sky, and then a second universe around it, and then a third universe around it. So these are the seven skies that is being referred to as the creation. So seven skies. So not only did he create the earth, he created the seven skies. And actually it is, we should think about and reflect upon the universe itself, how huge it is, and how big it is, that a person really becomes astounded as to the number of stars, the number of suns there are. You know, our sun that we see in the universe, it is actually minuscule in comparison to bigger suns. There are suns which are hundreds of times bigger than our sun in the universe. Okay, that's the amazing thing. And some planets and some stars are so far away from us that we would have to travel for thousands and thousands of years, or hundreds of thousands of years, to at the speed of light, which is an impossibility in itself, to reach those stars. That's how far they are. So that's how huge this universe is. And if we think about the hugeness of this universe, then how great is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who created that universe? That's something that we should think about. And we should research these things just to get an idea of the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So again, going back to the beginning of the verse, هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ لَكُمْ, it is He who created for all of you مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ, whatever is in the earth, جَمِيعًا, all of it, ثُمَّ اسْتَوَى إِلَى السَّمَاءِ, then He turned to the skies, فَسَوَّاهُنَّ سَبْعَ سَمَاوَاتٍ, and He fashioned them into seven skies. وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٍ, and He is over everything, of everything, alim, all knowing. Okay, so bikulli, ba is here, it doesn't really have a meaning as such. Kul, we know, it's a very famous word. It's also used in Urdu. It means everything. Shay'in, thing. Shay means thing. Alim means all knowing. And this will come again and again. The shape of this word alim as compared to alim. Alim means knowledgeable one. Okay, alim means all knowing at all times. Okay, so that's an alim, means that a person knows something, but tomorrow he might forget it. Okay, a person might know something today, but tomorrow or after 2 days or after a year he might forget it. But alim means a person who is all knowing at all times, and that knowledge is never separated from him. So the word Sami' is used for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is all hearing. He hears everything. Sami' in Arabic means one who listens, but our listening is limited to the person who's sitting in front of us, or the person who is, within this hall, or a person who's talking to us on the phone. We cannot hear somebody who's beyond the wall. We cannot hear somebody who is sitting in our houses. All right, our hearing is limited, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's not Sami', He is Sami'. He hears everything at all times. He is Basir. Basir means He sees everything at all times. Our seeing is limited to what is in front of us, or what we can see on our screens. We cannot see beyond the wall. We cannot see beyond these panels. Okay, this is because we are basir. We can see, but it's a limited. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala basir, He sees at all times and He sees everything. So alim means one who hears or knows everything at all times. And the root letter is Ain, Lam and Mim from the word ilm. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He starts talking about His creation of Adam alayhi salam. And in this, He mentions that when He was about to create Adam alayhi salam, He got the angels together. So why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talk to the angels and tell them that I'm going to create this creation of mine? Does He need to take the permission, or what's the reason that Allah would consult with the angels? So the scholars say that it is so that people understand the importance of what's known as shura, or consultation. Allah doesn't need any consultation with anybody. He can make whatever He wants, He can create whatever He wants, but He wanted to give humanity a lesson that even He made a shura, or a consultation with the angels. He shared what He was about to do with the angels, so the humanity could understand this concept of shura. The Prophet ﷺ himself could make shura directly with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but Allah instructed him to make shura with the Sahaba. وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. Consult with them in situations. فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. Once you've decided, then trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Prophet could take consultation directly from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but instead Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him to take shura from the Sahaba. So Allah consulting with the angels is to give humanity this very important lesson. وَإِذْ, and when, قَالَ, said in the past tense, Rabbuka, your Lord. Rabbuka referring to the Prophet ﷺ, your Lord. So when your Lord said to lil malaika, to the angels, okay, lil malaika, the single is malak, the plural is malaika. When your Lord said to the angels, inni, indeed I. Inna means indeed. We've come across this before. Inna means indeed. But when you add a ya to it, it becomes indeed I. Ja'ilun, am making. The word ja'il is actually what's known as ism fa'il. Ism fa'il means the person who is a doer of something. So for example, qatil, we have that in Urdu, right? Qatil. Okay, sajid. Sajid means a person who performs sajda. Okay, Nasir, one who helps. Okay, so the pattern means one who does something, depending on the root letters that are being used. So Ja'il means one who creates. So I am about to make, and the root letter is Jim, Ain and Lam. Fi, in al-ard, the earth, Khalifa, a Khalifa or a vicegerent. The word Khalifa, the root letter is from the word Khalaf. What does Khalaf mean? Khalaf means the back of a person. Min khalfihim, behind them. And a Khalifa is called a Khalifa because he comes after somebody else. The Khulafai Rashideen, they came after the Prophet ﷺ. They are known as Khulafa because they came after him, they replaced him, they took his place. Okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the angels that I'm going to make a Khalifa on the earth. So what is the concept of Khalifa? Khalifa means he is representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this earth. He is representing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the world. So he is basically an ambassador to the world from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Qalu, they said. Who said? The angels. Qala is the singular, qalu is the plural. They said, Ataj'alu, are you going to make? So the word taj'alu means you will make. Okay? And the hamza, the alif there, it is a question mark. Ataj'alu, are you going to make? Fiha, in it, in the earth, man, who yufsidu will cause corruption. Yufsidu from the word fasad, fasada, yufsidu, the root letter is fa, sin and dal, who will cause corruption, fiha, in it, wa yasfiku, and will shed blood. The word safak, sin, fa and kaf, it means to make blood flow. So yasfiku he will make blood flow. Ad-dima is the plural of dam. Dam means singular, it means blood, and dima, it is the plural of dam. So the question is that, first of all, why did the angels object to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creating Adam alayhi salam, and how did they know that, how did they establish that this creation is going to cause corruption on the earth and cause bloodshed on the earth? So the scholars say that it is referring to, they were referring to the jinns that had already been created thousands of years before. So the Iblis, for example, the shaitan, he was a jinn. He was created thousands of years before, and he worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so much so that he used to sit with the angels. So the jinn had already been created before the human beings, and many of the jinns, they were disobedient, and they were causing corruption, and they were causing different types of tribulations on the earth. So based upon the assumption that they had already seen with the jinns, they thought that this human would do the same thing. So another thing that you could consider from this verse is that maybe prior to the human beings, there was another creation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, which was not human. Maybe what, we talk about the theory of evolution, right? That there were apes, and Darwin says that from apes the human beings evolved. So we would say no, we did not evolve from any apes. That theory, it has its critics even amongst the scientists, and there are missing links in it which has huge gaps. So we would say that maybe the angels, they had seen this creation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had already created, which was almost the shape of a human being, and they had seen that that creation is causing bloodshed on the earth, and so based upon that, they said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, are you creating another creation that is going to do the same thing? Okay, so maybe it's referring to some kind of creation that were in human form or look like humans, but not exactly humans, that came before Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. وَنَحْنُ نُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ وَنُقَدِّسُ لَكَ. And we, and nahnu, we all, nahnu means we all, nusabbihu, we make tasbih, bihamdika, with your praise. The word nusabbihu, it's from the word sin, ba and ha, sin, ba and ha, and it means purity. Sin, ba and ha, the root letter, it means purity. So when we say subhanallah, it actually means I proclaim the purity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from all deficiencies. I proclaim the purity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from all deficiencies. So nusabbihu means we proclaim your purity. We make your tasbih bihamdika, with your praise. Okay, so hamd, praise, bihamdika, your praise, with your praise. Wa nuqaddisu, and we sanctify you, meaning we honor you. Nuqaddisu, taqdis is this word. Quds, Baytul Maqdis, it is from the same root letter. Qaf, Dal and Sin. Abdul Quddus, Quddus means the one who is sanctified and purified, meaning respected. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Quddus. He has the status and he is sanctified and respected. So nuqaddisu means it is a present tense for plural. We sanctify you. We glorify you. Lak, for you, for your benefit. Qala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responded, Inni, indeed I, a'lamu, I know, ma, what, la ta'lamun, you do not know. Inni a'lamu, a'lamu means I know. A'lamu, I know, singular form. A'lamu, I know. If it was na'lamu, we know. I know, ma, what, la ta'lamun, you do not know. So ta'lam, we know that the root letter is ilm, ayn, lam and mim, and the plural ta'lamun, all of you know. The singular would be ta'lamu, and because the people that are being addressed are the angels, they are in plural form, so all of you know. I know what all of you do not know. Let's go back to the beginning of the verse again. وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ, and when your Lord said, لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ, to the angels, إِنِّي, indeed I am, جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً, going to create in the earth a khalifa, an ambassador, a vicegerent. قَالُوا, they said, meaning the angels said, أَتَجْعَلُ فِيهَا, do you make in it, مَن يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا, someone who will cause corruption in the earth, in it, in the earth, وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاء, and will shed blood, وَنَحْنُ نُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ, we glorify or we purify you with your praise, وَنُقَدِّسُ لَكَ, and we sanctify for you, meaning sanctify you. قَالَ, Allah responded, إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ, indeed I know, مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ, what you do not know. Inshallah, we'll stop there because the next ayah is quite lengthy. Do you have any questions? Inshallah. Any questions?
If you can, Astawa, if you can a little bit explain that component of it, so in the previous ayah of 29.
Okay. Istawa means to actually...
how we can use it in common.
And there's only one example of that in the Quran. Ar-Rahmanu ala al-arsh istawa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made istiwa on the earth, on the throne. And that, when it's referring to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you think of it as in the human context, if you say istawa ala kursiyihi, basically he sat and he equaled himself on the chair. But we cannot say that about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We cannot say what it means when it refers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he makes istiwa on the throne. Here it refers to turn the attention to. Istawa, turn the full attention to. That is what istawa means in this context. Istawa ila sama. Then he turned to the skies. He put his attention, focused his attention to the skies.
So normally we hear that that Iblis basically object to the creation of human beings.
Yeah,
right?
that's going to come later on.
Here, the word mentioned is kalu. They means all the angels.
All the angels, yeah. Yeah, the angels objected. But Iblis, he objected to making sajda, and he disobeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The angels obeyed. The angels obeyed. And remember, the angels, they could not do anything without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala permitting the angels to doing it. Okay, the angels are basically like computers. They cannot do anything unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed them to or ordered them to do it. Okay, we human beings, we have free will to do whatever we want, to object, to say about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala whatever we want. But angels, they don't have that. They don't have that quality in them to object to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the fact that they objected was because Allah allowed them to object, because He wanted to prove a point for us later on, which the point will come later on, that indeed the human being is ashraful makhluqat. He is the best of the creation, and what happens after that will be proof of that. So Allah wanted to make that point, and to make that point He made the angels object.
That's why it is said that Iblis was not an angel, it was from jinns.
He was from the jinns because he had the ability to disobey. The angels don't have an ability to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When they were commanded to make sajda, they obeyed. But the jinn, because he has the ability to obey or disobey, he has free will, he disobeyed.
Yeah, he was in the company of the angels.
He was in the company of the angels. Why? Because he had built his status up to such a degree by worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he sat with the angels. And this is again a huge lesson for all of us, that it doesn't matter how high of a status you get. You know, there's always a chance that we might slip up and disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be removed from His mercy in such a way that the shaitan was removed. So we should never ever ever be arrogant of our worship or our getting close to Allah. Just imagine, he talked directly to Allah and he spent time with the angels, but he still became a shaitan al-rajim. He became the accursed shaitan. That's a huge lesson for all of us.
As Shaykh al-Islam says, that if you are in the higher status, in the closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then little trivial mistakes can put you down, that you will never be able to come back to the same status. So this is a kind of big status. It's in the kind of some. One more thing, in this 29, ayah 29, وَالَّذِي خَلَقَ لَكُمْ means it includes all of them. Lakum. Then what's the meaning of Jami'a at the end when it's already mentioned خَلَقَ لَكُمْ?
Yeah,
So
it's for
does it mean,
emphasis.
and how does it emphasize in terms of the translation and meaning of the
Okay, it can actually have two meanings. It
means if we خَلَقَ لَكُمْ مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ, if we finish it,
Yeah.
It concludes the sense.
Yeah, I did mention that it basically is for emphasis. Jami'an is for emphasis. So the emphasis can be on two things. It is He who created everything for you, all of it for your benefit. Okay? Or it can mean He created for you whatever is in the earth for all of you, for every human being, irrespective of whether he's obedient or disobedient. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives to everyone. Okay, so jami'an, all of you. So it can have two meanings when you look at the context in which it's mentioned. But jami'an, it means all. So it emphasizes, it's brought at the end of the sentence to emphasize. Okay.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been addressing the whole universe.
Yeah, of the whole human or humanity. Yeah. I mean, we have like the things like that in Urdu, that we say something that pura ka pura, aap to pura ka pura hi khage. Okay, if you say pura, aap to pura khage, that's enough, right? Pura ka pura khage, that extra ka pura, it basically gives more emphasis. Okay. Even though the meaning is pura, it means all, but pura ka pura, that means like you didn't leave even one drop for yeah. So this is the exact example of jami'an.
Yeah. So created for you means you stand for from here.
You human beings, all of you humans.
You does not include all the jinno,
Even
and all the human, the living creations,
It could actually be the other creations too, but because it's the concept. If you look at the previous verse, is talking to human beings themselves who are disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So yeah, it would probably be more like for the human beings, and even jinns, because they are also mukallaf, meaning they are supposed to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
And in those 40 hadiths, that there is one hadith of this level thing you're talking about, right? Like you can be off track.
Oh yeah, that right before you leave this world. Yes. Yes.
There is something like that.
Yeah.
Somebody who has been doing
Good for his whole life. Yes.
The last time he did something and then earned perdition. Another person who was doing evil all through, and the last moment he just did good and was
Yeah. Yes, that's a hadith qudsi. Yeah.
very.
So, but we should not be disheartened by that. But what it should emphasize to us is the importance of asking Allah for istiqamah, and also never being arrogant, and always maintaining, keeping a watchful eye out on ourselves that we don't disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in such a way. And generally speaking, it's not that something is written and we are just forced into the corner to accept that. Rather, the things that happen to us are because of our efforts and the direction that we take ourselves. So being written doesn't necessarily mean that our hands are tied and okay, if I'm destined to go to Jahannam, I'm going to go to Jahannam anyway. What it means is that we all have to make that effort to prevent ourselves from going in that direction. Inshallah. Jazakallahu khairan. Subhanallah. Dua inshallah. اللهم لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك الله لا اله الا هو الحي القيوم الف لام ميم الله لا اله الا هو الحي القيوم وعنت الوجوه للحي القيوم لا اله الا انت سبحانك انا كنا من الظالمين والهكم اله واحد لا اله الا هو الرحمن الرحيم جزا الله عنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم بما هو اهله يا ارحم الراحمين ظلمنا انفسنا وان لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين رب اغفر وارحم وتجاوز ما تعلم انك انت العزيز الاكرم اللهم انك عفو كريم رحيم تحب العفو فاعف عنا يا كريم اللهم يا مسرف القلوب سرف قلوبنا إلى طاعتك يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك اللهم ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما اللهم وفقنا لما تحبه وترضى من القول والفعل والعمل وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين سبحان ربك رب العزة ما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Ameen.